The city is designing a future homeless shelter to support individuals and families experiencing homelessness. Our community has told us that addressing homelessness is a top priority, and the city has responded by taking proactive measures to address this community concern, including enacting a new anti-camping ordinance, utilizing Measure E funds to hire new staff dedicated to addressing homelessness, and opening a temporary shelter to get our unhoused community off the streets and into a safe, supportive environment that will allow them to make progress toward long-term stability. I'm happy to report that our homelessness strategy is working. Since the temporary shelter opened in late '24, the city has seen a 65% reduction in encampments and transitioned dozens of individuals into long-term housing. However, we cannot sustain this success without a long-term shelter solution. To be clear, our shelter solution is unique and developed specifically for the needs of Elk Grove. The shelter would focus on helping people with ties to Elk Grove. The shelter will not accept walk-ins or drop-offs, as referrals can only come through the city's homeless service navigators or the police department. The city's strong, proactive approach focused on safety, accountability, and compassion will be a model for other cities to follow, and one which will instill a sense of community pride. This video provides an overview of the project, how it would operate, and location options under consideration.
The future shelter will provide accommodations and services for up to 20 adults and up to 4 families with an additional 5 emergency beds. All guests would be referred through the city's homeless services navigation team. This is a referral-only shelter. Walk-ins are not permitted. Meals and services would only be provided to shelter guests, and pet companions would be welcome. Length of stay would vary based on individual needs, but the focus would remain on helping participants transition successfully into stable housing. Participants would receive individualized case management, housing navigation support, and access to resources such as employment assistance, benefits enrollment, and behavioral health referrals. The shelter would be staffed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with a minimum of 3 staff on site at all times. Clear rules, safety protocols, and coordination with partner agencies would guide daily operations. Families and single adults would be housed separately with distinct entrances and day use areas.
The city reviewed a wide range of potential locations, including city-owned properties, existing buildings that could be renovated, vacant land, and other parcels that met zoning requirements. In total, approximately 130 locations were initially reviewed and screened. Community input helped shape how sites were evaluated. In a fall 2025 survey, residents ranked the importance of the siting criteria. Survey results show that respondents placed the greatest importance on distance from sensitive uses, followed by cost and feasibility and proximity to services. Using these criteria, the list was narrowed down to 3 locations.
Now that we've reviewed how the city evaluated potential locations, this section provides a brief, high-level overview of the 3 locations under consideration. These summaries are intended to give a general sense of each site's characteristics without going into detailed assessments, which are still underway.
White Road, located north of Laguna Boulevard on the city's west side, represents a general area where the city is in discussions with multiple property owners. The area includes a mix of vacant parcels and existing buildings that meet the minimum 1-acre requirement needed to support shelter programming. Once a specific property is identified and the city is prepared to move forward, that information will be publicly shared. This area is currently zoned for light industrial use, which is compatible with the shelter site. The surrounding area includes a mix of light industrial and commercial uses. This area is bordered by business parks and warehouse buildings. Residential neighborhoods and additional businesses are located further to the south, southwest, and east. Overall, this area received a green rating, with strong compatibility in 4 out of 5 categories. The area received a green rating for proximity to sensitive uses, for its distance away from homes, schools, and parks. It also scored green for cost and feasibility, since it is appropriately zoned and offers flexibility for development. For proximity to services, this area earned a green rating. Essential services are nearby and accessible. Safety and security also earned a green rating, thanks to the area's low foot traffic and good visibility. Finally, this area scored yellow for transportation due to limited bike infrastructure and walkability, which could pose challenges for shelter guests and staff. To mitigate this challenge, shelter staff could provide transportation to critical appointments and offer bus passes. This site is at 9296 East Stockton Boulevard, south of Bond Road, relatively central to most places in the city. It is mostly vacant and spans about 4 acres, more than enough to meet the estimated 1 acre needed to support shelter operations. The site is currently zoned for high-density residential development, such as a shelter or apartment complex. This site is in a mixed-use area with mostly commercial and employment uses along the freeway at the intersection of East Stockton Boulevard and Bond Road. The residential communities nearby are separated from the site by masonry sound walls. Neighborhood access is located southeast of the site. Overall, the site received a green rating with strong compatibility in all 5 categories. For proximity to sensitive uses, the site scored green because it is appropriately separated from homes, schools, and parks. Access to surrounding residential neighborhoods begins within a 0.6-mile walking distance of the site. Cost and feasibility also received a green rating. The site is vacant, appropriately zoned, and offers flexibility for development. Proximity to services scored green as well, with nearby amenities and support services accessible within a reasonable distance. Most notably, the Turning Point Core Wellness Center is less than a 5-minute walk from the shelter. It provides outpatient behavioral health services, including therapy, case management, and peer support, giving residents easy access to mental health and wellness resources. The site earned another green rating for safety and security, supported by the area's visibility and consistent activity from surrounding commercial uses. Finally, transportation received a green rating due to nearby transit options, as well as the area's convenient walkability and bikeability. This site is located at the southern end of the city, at the intersection of Grantline Road and Survey Road. It is currently vacant and is about 1.5 acres in size, more than enough to meet the estimated 1 acre needed to support shelter programming. It is currently zoned as heavy industrial, and a shelter use would have relatively minimal impact on the surrounding area. The area around the site serves as one of Elk Grove's major employment and logistics hubs, with large parcels dedicated to distribution, manufacturing, and service-oriented industrial uses. There are no residential neighborhoods in the immediate proximity, with housing located farther north and northeast. Overall, the site received a green rating, with strong compatibility in 3 out of 5 categories. For proximity to sensitive uses, the site scored green because it is appropriately separated from homes, schools, and parks, helping to minimize potential conflicts with nearby neighborhoods. Cost and feasibility also received a green rating. The site is vacant and offers flexibility for development, making it a strong option from a planning and budget perspective. Proximity to services scored yellow. While some basic amenities are nearby, access to specialized support services may require additional travel, making it moderately compatible in this category. The site earned another green rating for safety and security, supported by the area's visibility and consistent activity from surrounding commercial and industrial uses. Finally, transportation received a yellow rating due to limited public transit options and poor walkability, which may present challenges for shelter guests and staff in terms of accessibility. To mitigate this challenge, shelter staff could provide transportation to critical appointments and offer bus passes.
No decisions have been made. Community feedback will help inform what information is most important as the city prepares to share findings with City Council.
The city is committed to a transparent and inclusive process. Community perspectives remain a key part of the location considerations. Feedback gathered through the community meetings, surveys, and this interactive video helps the city understand what information residents need, what concerns remain, and what priorities matter most moving forward. The city anticipates returning to the City Council February 11th with an update on the shelter project. This update will include the evaluation work completed to date and a summary of the community feedback, which will help guide Council's direction on prioritizing the 3 shelter site locations. Your participation helps ensure that the process is transparent, well-informed, and responsive to community needs. The city will continue to share updates as more information becomes available as the project advances towards a council direction in February. Thank you for watching the video and sharing your feedback. To stay informed as the project moves forward, visit elkgrove.gov/futureshelter.